All right, since I am back over here in my apothecary slash lab, and I'm going to put together two workbooks. So I've printed them out. And since I am doing that, I thought I would show you guys the essence of what I do. See, these are covers that I use for certain books, such as this book. So that resolve conflict and manage your anger like a pro to enjoy healthier relationships. Now, I created these books in this format quite a while ago. I think 2020, 2021, 2022 for this one. 2022 for this one. And then I went to Amazon and I put these into my Business of You series on Amazon. So this book here became this book, The Business of You, Resolve Conflict and Manage Anger. Now, I am leaving Amazon for multiple reasons, right? So all of my books will be in this format going forward once I get rid of the ones I have in stock of these. And I don't know how many I have, but once I get rid of those, these will be the ones that you see. I have ISBNs for these, so you can find them online. Okay, so that's one book. Another book that I have in my Business of You, The Business of You, Anxiety and Depression. And these books are part of my series because when I work with my therapy clients, these are some of the things that we work on. Anger, we work on grief, right? So I created this journal, and this journal, clear cover, this backing here. This is a grief journal for healing after a painful breakup. Of course, this is volume 1. It's just a journal with some prompts in it. And of course, I do coloring and things of that nature that I add into it. I may have shown you guys this at some point, but I tend to create these for my clients at the time that they need them. Except for what I'm going to do today, I am going to prepare 2 books because I am psychic, so I know that those 2 books are going to be needed, so I'm going to prepare those. Of course, because of my astrology and numerology, I have the Pisces risings and I have all of the 12 zodiac signs. But you know, in the Freisen method, there's actually 13 houses, right? But I have the traditional 12 houses available combined with numerology for understanding. Because I have people who want to learn, so I created that. This one is kind of very important. My meal planner, this is the one that I use for my kidney clients. And that's pretty much all I can say about that because of these algorithms and how they don't like to work. The anxiety and lupus, as a lupus warrior. And another one, the resolve conflict. And you see how cute the paper is? That's why I like being able to print them, because I can print them on cute paper when I want to. This one, the honest mother. And this is a journal for when parenting feels hard, because it's okay to not feel okay, right? And this is Becoming Me Again, a grief journal for life after diagnosis. And I deal with so many people who are dealing with grief. I'm a death doula, and as a death doula, I'm a shaman, a death doula, metaphysician, mystic, a lot of different titles. But I have a holistic center where I deal with multiple facets of people. And as you transition through life, you of course have the birth cycle, and everything else is working towards the death cycle until you ultimately have death. And death comes in many forms. Death comes in the form of an illness. So you get an illness that changes who you are and how you interact in this world. And many people do not grieve that process, that loss of the old self in order to become the new self, right? Which is why many people get stuck and anger and never get past that diagnosis. So you can get past it. You see different people. You see people who are thriving, although they have the diagnosis, and then you see people who are suffering and just moving towards decay. Another book, Loving Me Through It, that's companion book for people who have lupus. One of the main reasons I'm leaving Amazon is because this book has sold many copies internationally, and Amazon has not paid me, and it has been pretty much like 9 months. So yeah, I'm moving all of my products from there because I didn't even know that until I went to reconcile my account for tax purposes and saw that it had sold all these copies, and yet they haven't paid me. Of course, they claim it was an error on their part, but they haven't resolved it. Between Worlds, okay, the spiritual guide, Mystic Side of Me. This is also in combination with numerology. And this book, although I do like the version that I created on Amazon, of course I will be creating this outside of Amazon. This is a book where you can journal, this one, and this one tells you what to journal. It gives you insights about common signs, past what happens when you see birds over and over, the numbers themselves, the synchronicities. So that information is in there. It's normally a combination set. These journals, which I love because I love these spiral ones. Of course, now notice these are not with the spiral format because I have 2 different binding machines that I use. Actually, that's not even correct. I have a third binding. It's just in one of these bins that I have here. And that is from 25 years ago when I first was working at the hospital. I did the binding for our cookbook, and then another one I worked it with churches. Well, the church I went to, putting programs and things together. And my very first book that I wrote, well, as an adult, because that's not the first book that I wrote, How to Become a Thousandaire, I did the binding for that, and I helped someone else with their binding, and that's in one of these bins that I have in here. Eventually I'll find it, but right now I have 2 binding machines available to me. So anyway, this is Grown Ass Woman Journal, and this is a journal, and it's themed with the astrology, of course, Pisces, because I am a Pisces. So this one is a Pisces themed journal, because journaling is one of the secrets to manifesting. And this one is another journal that I created for, see, it's more like a notepad, but this one I created in the theme of like lupus colors, right, for my lupus warriors. Other people can use it, but of course it's another journal. And I haven't even posted all of these journals for sale. And then this one is a healing one, I Hate You But. This is a journal to release rage towards a parent. So, see, and I'm getting ready to do this binding for the books that I have today. But anyway, so when I work with my clients and my clients are experiencing different issues, I create unique things for them. Dr. Friesen Spiritual Wellness Center is my company that publishes all of my printed products. And I have some products that I'm working on for some other people, and I publish those through Dr. Friesen Spiritual Wellness Center Incorporated. All of these things are tools. So they start out as tools for my clients, and then when other people want something similar, I share these with them, right? So when I say to people that everyone has a theme and everyone experiences the same issues in different font, right? There's a difference. Everyone has a time when they're going through some type of disease in their body, whether it's with them specifically or it's a family member that they're assisting with the disease in their body. Everyone at some point goes through a loss, whether it's a loss in a job, a loss in a relationship, and everyone at some point undergoes a spiritual journey where they're questioning life, and sometimes it's earlier in life and sometimes it's later in life. All of these things resonate because we're all working through different cycles. And from astrology and numerology, you can see the cycle matrix of an individual and understand where they are and why they are dealing with certain things. Now, that being the case, and this is not all of my books, by the way. I do have two more, but they're in the bin far, far, far below. But back to what I was saying. That being the case, when I create these tools and I find them to be helpful with my clients, then I know that I can share them with others. Some of the tools, I get feedback from my clients and I discover that I need to tweak some things, and then I do that. And you will also notice that because I am sound therapist, hypnotherapist, color therapist, Reiki master, all these other aspects of me, my tools contain those items as well. Which means before I send something out to someone, I have to infuse it with Reiki energy and sound energy so that it can be at a higher vibration for that individual. And this is also why I'm extremely particular about who I allow in my space, because I know that I have worked to put certain energies into these things. And that's include my teas, my soaps, my oils for hair growth, right? All of my tools are infused with that energy because all of life is energy. Now, this video has gone far longer than I intended for it to go when I sat down. But I think it's important that I have this out there so that when someone comes and asks me questions about my books and they haven't taken the time to go to my website, or they say, well, this isn't on your website. Well, it might not be. I can refer them to this video and they can see an assortment of what I do. Now, it's not the cost of these books. It takes me more time to put these books together than what their cost is. So they're not really expensive on purpose. They're not expensive on purpose because they're normally made for my clients who are working with me within something else. So most of my clients get them for free. People who are getting them because someone sent them to me, they have to pay, because I do have to pay for the material. But you can go and find them at those locations. Like when someone's working with me and we're dealing with them in dream aspects, they get this, right? So what I like about these is, oh, look at all the cute little pictures on the back of them. Look at them. So, but anyway, hopefully this book will help you. Now I'm going to go put these back over there and not make a mess on my bookshelf, and then put these other ones together and finish out some other projects that I have so that I can get on with the rest of my day. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. And remember, today is March 18th. We are 3 days away from March 21st. Remember the shift that I told you about. Okay? Be well.